here, and I just got done seeing X-Men Dark Phoenix. Oh man, I'm really trying to go into this movie, and I didn't want to be like everybody else and just destroy it. But honest to God, man, easily one of the worst movies in the last 10 years I think I've seen, man. Like, it's borderline up there with like Dragon Ball Evolution, The Last Airbender. Some of the fight scenes were cool, I don't know, but just overall, from the story to the freaking, just the overall motivations of some of the characters was just god awful, man. So let's just go ahead and just start with the big one here, the death of Mystique, or Raven, whatever you want to call her. I think probably Jennifer Lawrence is just tired of the role, and she wanted out. I mean, I think that's how that went down, man. Because I think she was in like maybe the first 20 minutes of the movie, and she's done. You know, the Phoenix gets her powers, her quote unquote powers, or whatever, and she's done. And just doing the storyline based off of, you know, wanting to fuel Charles Xavier's ego. You know, why would he have them try to go back and save that last guy when they only had like 30 seconds left? I mean, really? Was he ever like, I'm not an avid comic book reader, but did he ever showcase any kind of, you know, egotistical views like that in the comic book, where like he was like had that relationship with the president and they had their own freaking super phone or whatever, but they was just buddy like that? And it was just weird. Like, I hated that whole aspect. I hated that, dog. It's like, and they were right. It wasn't even about, like, at the beginning of the movie, it wasn't even about the mission anymore. It was about the completing of the mission to boost his own self-esteem. So it's just weird. It's just weird, man. I feel like out of like everything, there was no like satisfying, there was no good message, no good feeling ending to any of the character arcs in the entire movie. So blah blah blah, they're on a space mission, and Jean gets her powers, and they're trying to help her or whatever. You know, it was a pretty cool Dazzler scene. You know, I always see the Dazzler Marvel Legends figure like everywhere. I'm like, who is this girl? Like, but finally we got like a look at her in the movie where she was performing or whatever. She's got like starry powers, and I guess her mutant powers is her singing voice, I guess, maybe. Yeah. So once we get to the scene where like Jean like realizes her powers, and you know, they're trying to bring her back or keep her from going dark or whatever, she goes to see her dad that, you know, had Jean forced her parents to get into that car wreck, and she accidentally killed her mom, and, you know, they get in the car wreck, and, you know, her dad doesn't want anything to do with her. And then once they're out of the hospital or whatever, you know, Professor X like comes and takes custody of her, and, you know, she goes back home to get answers from her dad, because Professor X told her that her dad was dead. And that whole like scene of her asking him like about the pictures on the wall, and he's like, well, you know, you killed my wife with your mom, so, you know. Yeah, and then that was all it took for just Jean to go, and then or that's all it took for Jean's dad to be like, oh, you're not part of the family no more. You're not part of the family no more. You took everything away from me. And then Jean was like, there are no pictures of me around here. Hated it, dude. And just the whole fight scene. Here's another thing too. God, I feel like Quicksilver was just a no-show. Like, so, of course, we've all heard that this movie had like 30-something or 100-something reshoots or whatever. You know, Quicksilver was just completely omit from the final battle. There was a lot of major battles that he was just gone. He was only in like one major battle of the entire movie. He only had like just the cool scene from the beginning where he saved all the astronauts or whatever. And then, you know, he came back and was doing that scene with Jean, and then Jean like somehow stopped his flow of running and then pushed him through some of the rubble, and he was just out of commission for the rest of the movie. Terrible choice. I don't know who decision that was to omit him from the entire rest of the movie, but okay, cool, fine, yeah. Probably the strongest, most exciting character in the entire franchise, and yeah, you just decide not to include him in some pivotal fight scenes. But then, just the whole death scene with Mystique when she, pushes her into the pikes or whatever. I think, well, did we really need that spoiled within the trailers? I don't understand why they really needed to have that entire sequence. I mean, not the entire sequence, but we've all saw it coming. She gets blown away, and then they just immediately skip to her burial scene, obviously. I just don't think it was necessary to spoil that in every trailer of the movie. I think that was dumb. That would have been a huge emotional impact for me if I hadn't seen the trailers. Just saying, man. And then we go into the whole, start blaming Professor X thing. Oh, it's his fault because he put those borders around Jean's head. I know that's in the comic book, but just how they did it. Just, I don't know. This is the dude that plays Beast, and like his anger. This was not very believable for me when he smacked the drink off the table. You just have to admit that you were wrong. No, you can't even do it, can you? You can't do it. That scene was just more funny to me than anything else. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at all. And then we finally get to the point where Magneto is revealed and he's on this random ass island helping these other mutants again. I don't know, they just cannot leave this dude alone. Like every time like a movie happens, he just goes AWOL and just tries to get away from it all and just tries to live a normal life. No, something serious happens. We gotta go grab Magneto. Why? So, man, some of the scenes with Magneto I really did like. I think is still and has always been one of the strongest aspects of this new age of X-Men movies. I feel like even he was underused in this film, man. It's just like he had some really cool fight scenes in the final battle. Like it was one sequence when they were on the train or whatever, when he was using his magnetic powers to just jack some dudes up. So that was cool. But other than that, though, just the whole. And I get the motivation of him wanting to go and try and kill Jean after he found out that she killed Raven. Okay, whatever. That's cool. But I didn't really understand Hank's motivation for flying out there. I get it, plot device. But him flying out there to try to recruit Magneto to go and kill Jean, it's just a little weird to me. I feel like it was never really within his character to be like that, like the lethal, kill some people and to get. He never really seemed like the revenge type to me. So I tell you what, though, I like some positive aspects of the movie. Definitely the fight scenes, man. Some of them, not all of them. There was a really cool scene where Nightcrawler really got. It kind of got a little essence of where he is in X2. It was a really cool scene where this dude dies, and he kind of like freaks out and gets mad and grabs a knife and really starts ripping dudes apart with his phasing ability. So that was really cool. So like him, Magneto had really cool fight scenes. Cyclops had some pretty cool scenes as well. Cyclops is probably the one character that I really didn't have too much of a problem with throughout the entire movie. He was actually pretty cool throughout the entire flick. So he didn't die in this one, so yay. But yeah, man, but back to Jean, just the whole, I feel like there was never really an explanation of the people that were trying to take over her powers or whatever. There was just, all I know, there was just some dudes that came from outer space and they were trying to take control of her power. And there was a lot of pieces from the trailer that got cut too. I remember it was a scene in the trailer where she was talking to somebody and she was like, "Oh, every time I lose control, it feels good." I was looking forward to that scene in the movie. Never happened. Okay. Okay. And then we have the third, which is the normal Jean and Grey, which is who we knew through the first couple of movies or whatever. So Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then another thing too. So obviously, I thought she was supposed to get her Dark Phoenix powers from Apocalypse, or at least that's what the Age of Apocalypse wanted us to think. When he was like, when he was getting killed or whatever, and he was talking to Jean, and he was like, "All is revealed." So I guess that's just thrown out the window in this movie. We just go and just this outer space force that gives her the power. I mean, there's no mention of apocalypse at all in this movie. Okay, I just hate when movies just completely throw out plot devices, like they just go into the next planning phases, the next movie, and they're like, "Oh, this is dumb. Let's just throw that out." No, I remembered. I remember, dude. I don't get how that works. But that was a pretty big story element to just omit and think that the audience was just gonna forget. I don't know whose decision that was, but man, that was not a very good one. Not a very good one. I mean, I feel like it would have made more sense just to do that. At least it would have saved us from the crap overall villain that was, I can't even think of her name. Jessica Chastain's character, whoever she plays, the Wood People. Let's just call them that. Let's call them the Wood People, because I feel like they never got an official name. It was never explained. It was never told to us. It was so, like I said, it was just the outer space Wood People just came and just took over this family and just found the power. They've been following the power that's destroyed their home world. Whatever that home world's name is, who knows? They never told us. And yeah, they were going to. Their plan was to take the power and try to harness it and restart life of their own life on Earth. Okay, I don't know how that was going to work. I don't think they had really thought that through, to be honest. I think that they was just trying to do some stuff to give the movie a plot element. So oh god, dude, it's just so bad. I always like my main thing I always say is that a comic book movie or a superhero movie in general is as good as its villain, and this villain was horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's just your generic, just, oh god, just they don't appreciate your power, so you should let me mentor you so I can show you how to be the chosen one. And of course, Jean's like, really, is that how I should be? Cause I'm so lost. No, I'm so lost. Oh, it was so bad. So bad. I thought it was impossible to make a worse movie than X3. I thought like X3, between X3 and X-Men Origins of Wolverine would stand the test of time to be the worst X-Men movies of all time. But man, somehow I think Dark Phoenix has trumped it. Like I said, it has some better fight scenes, but that just goes with the times. But other than that, story though, I think the story impact of X3 had a bigger impact than Dark Phoenix. I mean, at least you got Hugh Jackman in X3 to kind of push it along a little bit. Well, I don't know, man. It's just, oh god, dude, it's so bad. Easily the worst movie I've seen so far in 2019. Definitely, for sure. And it'll probably be out of the rest of the movies that I see this year. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being the worst movie I see in 2019. It was that bad, man. It was that bad. I give it. It was an embarrassment to Fox. It was an embarrassment to comic books. It was an embarrassment to anybody that is a fan of the X-Men. I hope Disney just lets it breathe for a few years. Give it maybe 6 or 7 years. Let us completely forget about the characters, hopefully. Of course, I would have loved to have seen a Hugh Jackman, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Avengers, X-Men crossover movie. I think that's impossible now, obviously, unless they enter the multiverse and figure out a way to bring those three back. Other than that, so that dream is down the pooper. So, it is what it is, man. I think we got the best out of the X-Men with Days of Future Past, X2, and Logan. I think that's like the top 3 X-Men, movies that we got out of that entire franchise. So, yeah, definitely a disappointing, sad way to end some of my favorite childhood movies. I will always be a fan of the X-Men, but that movie was garbage. I feel bad for the actors, man, because it's like they wanted it to be it's like they tried. It's like they really tried, man. But they just didn't have anything to work with. That's it, man. The script was just not there at all. It's like it needed to be rewritten, reworked, rewritten, reworked, rewritten, and reworked. And from the rumors and stuff, it looks like it was. But and like I said, like Quicksilver, like that was your most popular character, I think, out of this entire new franchise, and then you just completely omitted him from the final battle. Oh, and one more thing, just the whole final thing of like Jean really like fully realizing her powers, like the final fight or whatever. Just that whole like phasing in and phasing out, just the psh, just the psh, just the psh, just the psh. Hate it, dog. At least shoot some blasts or something. Like shoot some Phoenix fire powers. Like just shoot some power. Just don't point at them and they just explode. No, come on. It's just lazy. It's lazy. That's lazy editing, lazy special effects. Come on, man. Come on. Even. No, I think X3 just had her point at them too, and they just exploded. But God, dude, it just God, man, you could easily just had her shoot some beams to have them explode at least. God, just so bad, so bad. And then like that whole cliche and having Professor Magneto playing chess and then look at this guy. Oh, she's still alive. Oh, she's still alive. Just like in X2. Oh, she's coming back. Just for X-Men, the next one. Well, there's not going to be a next one because Fox doesn't own it anymore. It belongs to Disney now. So that's just going to sit in limbo forever. Should have just terrible. I'm done. I think I've been talking for like 15 to 20 minutes now. I'm done with this video. If you like, so X-Men, obviously I hated it. I give it like 3 out of 10. Yeah, 3 out of 10, man. I hated this movie. I really did. Aside from a couple of good fight scenes, I hated this movie. Yeah, so if you appreciated the video, I appreciate you for watching. You know what to do. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. Also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If this video gets over 100 likes and 100 shares, I will do a giveaway. True, man. Yeah. I mean, it's gotta get to 100 likes. And I tell you what, if I get to 1,100 subscribers, I think I'm at like 1075. So like 25 more people subscribe to the channel. I'll do a little small giveaway at like 1,100 subscribers, and then I'll do a huge giveaway if this video gets 100 likes and 100 shares. All right, man. So as always, appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate everybody's support. And until the next video, guys, I will see you guys on the next one. I'll catch you guys later.